If you have more tasks in a day than time to complete them in, if you are constantly working from behind and playing catch up with your work, or if you are totally overwhelmed by your to-do list and it stops you from doing anything on your list because the list is just too long and unmanageable, this video is going to help you organize and shrink your to-do list so you can finally manage and get ahead on all of your work. Today, I'm going to share 6 prioritization strategies to organize and shrink your to-do list. Now, before we get started with the strategies, I want to show you what this looks like with a little before and after, so you set reasonable expectations of what these strategies can do for you. Essentially, these strategies will help you take a long to-do list and create more focused to-do lists. These strategies will help you create a plan for you to tackle your to-do list day by day instead of trying to do it all at once. And these strategies will eliminate some of your tasks completely or help you identify tasks to delegate, automate, or systematize. So you will go from this long, overwhelming to-do list to a simple, clean, organized, and totally manageable to-do list. So with these expectations set, let's talk about the 6 prioritization strategies. Number 1 is the Eisenhower Matrix. The Eisenhower Matrix was named after President Dwight D. Eisenhower, and it provides a structured approach to prioritizing tasks based on their urgency and importance. In a world that's been inundated with to-do lists, this method acts as a compass, helping you navigate the clutter and zero in on tasks that demand your immediate attention. So how to use this? First, what you're going to need to do is create a 4-quadrant matrix with the headers important, not important, urgent, and not urgent. And then what you're going to do is create your to-do list by applying tasks into the matrix. So for quadrant number 1, which is urgent and important, these are tasks that require immediate attention. They are both crucial and time sensitive, so you want to tackle these tasks first and foremost to prevent crises or missed opportunities, which is why I say here, anything in this quadrant you want to do ASAP. Now, ASAP could mean today, right? It could be this week. You need to be able to do it as soon as you possibly can. Quadrant number 2 is important, but not urgent. So these tasks are significant for your long-term goals, but they may not be time sensitive. So what you're going to do is schedule dedicated time to work on these tasks, ensuring that they don't become urgent later. So the way that I recommend handling these tasks is, if these tasks do not already have a due date, I want you to actually give them a due date, right? And that's going to help you to know when you need to schedule them in for later on. Now, later on could be tomorrow, it could be next week, it could be next month, right? But we want to actually assign these tasks and put them into our calendar somewhere that's not today or the immediate future, which is going to be taken up by these urgent and important tasks. Quadrant number 3 is urgent but not important. So tasks in this quadrant, they do need immediate attention, but they are not things that are going to be contributing to our long-term goals. So if these tasks can be delegated, definitely do that, or take some other step to minimize them so that you can free up time for more critical activities. And so for me, the way I handle urgent and not important tasks is I either delegate, automate, or systemize, okay? So you can delegate them to someone else. You can find a way to automate them, right? Perhaps with some sort of program or process, or you can create a system to be able to handle them on a specific basis, right? Anything that makes it simpler for you to get these done and minimizes the effort is what you're going to want to do with these tasks. And then the 4th quadrant is not urgent and not important. So tasks in this quadrant are not time sensitive and they are not crucial for your goals. So consider eliminating or postponing these tasks so that you can focus on what truly matters. So here I have delegate or defer. That's generally what I like to do with this quadrant. Or I could put things on like a someday maybe list. If it's some sort of an idea that you think like maybe will come back in the future, put it on a someday maybe list, right? So that you can refer to it later. So that is Strategy number one, the Eisenhower Matrix. Strategy number two is the ABCDE method. So this method is a straightforward and powerful strategy for prioritizing tasks, providing a clear roadmap to address your to-do list systematically. It's developed by productivity expert Brian Tracy, and this method offers you a practical framework for discerning the importance and urgency of each task, allowing you to allocate your time and effort with precision. So how you're going to use this is you're going to make a to-do list with all of your known tasks and then label each of the tasks with a letter based on this criteria. So A tasks. These are your top priority tasks, those that must be done today. So these tasks typically have immediate and significant consequences if they're not completed promptly. So focus your energy on completing A tasks before anything else. B tasks. These are important, but not as time sensitive as the A tasks. So B tasks have flexibility, meaning that they should be done today, but you have some leeway. So schedule these tasks after completing your A tasks. C tasks are tasks that should be done today or could be done today, but they're optional. While they may contribute to your overall goals, they aren't as crucial. So if time permits, you can do C tasks after A and B. But if not, it's okay to do them later. We just don't want these tasks taking precedence over anything more important. D, tasks mean that we are going to delegate these tasks to others if possible. So effective delegation allows you to free up your time for more high impact activities like A and B tasks. Now, if the task doesn't require your specific skill set or attention, entrust it to someone else. Or as I mentioned before with the Eisenhower Matrix, you can delegate, automate, and systemize these tasks as well if you absolutely need to be the one to do them, right? But that's something that you will put together and put a system in place, right? So that these are handled a little bit easier for you in the future. And E is eliminate or postpone tasks. So these are tasks that upon closer inspection might not contribute significantly to any of your goals. If possible, remove them from your to-do list or postpone them to a later date. This is very similar to the not urgent, not important category on the Eisenhower Matrix. Delegate, defer, or put it on a someday maybe list. Strategy number three is the Moscow method. So the Moscow method is a prioritization technique that originated in the world of project management, gaining popularity for its ability to systematically categorize tasks based on their criticality. Derived from the acronym Moscow, this method provides a structured approach to sorting tasks and projects, ensuring that energy and resources are allocated with strategic precision. So how we're going to use this method is you're going to create a list of tasks related to a specific project. So this is very project-based, and assign a letter to each task based on the following criteria. M of Moscow means must have. So these are non-negotiable tasks. They're absolute essentials that must be completed. They form the backbone of your priorities for your project, and they should be tackled first. S is should haves, right? So tasks in this category are important, but they're not as critical as the must-have tasks. They contribute significantly to your project, but they offer a bit more flexibility in terms of the timing. C is could have. These are things that are desirable, but they are not crucial, right? Could have tasks are optional and can be pursued if time and resources permit, right? These tasks often enhance the overall quality or experience within a project, right? But they're not necessary. And the W is won't have. So tasks in this category can be deferred or eliminated. They're not immediately essential and can be revisited later or discarded altogether. Keep in mind, when you're creating a project plan and you're listing out like all of the different tasks that you could actually execute in order to complete the project, very often we think of a lot of excess things that are could haves or won't haves, right? Meaning that if we have time, it would be good to add this in. But sometimes we come up with ideas, right, for tasks that like they were just an idea. It doesn't mean you have to do it, and it might not actually fit very well with your project and your resources. So mark those as W and just skip them. Strategy number 4 is eat the frog. So this is a strategy coined by renowned productivity expert Brian Tracy. The Eat the Frog method is a metaphorical call to action that encourages individuals to tackle their most challenging tasks first thing in the morning. The frog represents the most difficult and often procrastinated tasks on your to-do list, and that idea is to confront it head on to set a positive tone for the rest of the day. So how to use this? You're going to want to review your to-do list and take the following steps. Step number 1 is to identify the frog. Take a moment to assess your to-do list and pinpoint the task that feels the most challenging or demanding. It's the one that you're tempted to postpone. That is most likely going to be your frog for the day. Step 2 is you're going to prioritize the frog. Make the frog your top priority for the day. By addressing the most difficult task early, you ensure that it doesn't linger in your thoughts, creating unnecessary stress. Step 3, we're going to leverage morning energy. So we want to tackle the frog during peak energy hours that are typically in the morning. This is when your mind is fresh and you have the mental clarity to confront challenges effectively. And then step number 4 is enjoy a sense of accomplishment. Actually feel the accomplishment. So completing the most challenging task first thing provides a sense of accomplishment and sets a positive momentum for the rest of the day. It frees up mental space for other tasks. And when you get the hardest thing done first, everything else on your to-do list that day seems infinitely easier. Strategy number 5 is the RICE framework. RICE is a strategic prioritization method designed to help individuals and teams assess the impact of various tasks or projects. Developed by Intercom, a project management and design company, the RICE framework factors in reach, impact, confidence, and effort to provide a comprehensive scoring system for prioritization. So how to use this? You're going to create a list of potential projects or initiatives and use the following criteria to evaluate which would be the best to work on. So R stands for reach. So you want to evaluate how many people will be affected by the task or project. Consider the potential audience, users, or stakeholders who will benefit from or be impacted by the completion of the task. I is impact. Assess the overall impact or benefit of the task. What will be the magnitude of the change or improvement resulting from the completion of the task or project? C is confidence. Estimate your confidence in the expected outcomes. How certain are you that the task will deliver the anticipated impact? This factor helps mitigate uncertainty in the prioritization process. E stands for effort. Consider the resources, time, and effort required to complete the task. This includes the manpower, tools, and any other resources needed for successful execution. Now, what you're going to do once you have determined all of these, you actually want to calculate the RICE score, right? Which is R times I times C divided by E, right? So you are going to assign a numerical score to each of the factors, and you will actually multiply the reach and the impact and the confidence and divide it all by the effort. So the higher the RICE score, that might be a project that you want to start with, right? Or complete next, right? With your team or within your business setting. And strategy number 6 is the Pareto principle. So the Pareto principle is often referred to as the 80-20 rule, and it's a universal concept that asserts that roughly 80% of effects come from 20% of causes or actions. It was named after the Italian economist Vilfredo Pareto, and this principle can be used to apply to various aspects of life, including task management, to identify and prioritize the most impactful activities. So this is how you use it. Take your complete to-do list and use the following steps to prioritize your tasks. Step number 1 is you want to identify the vital few. Recognize the 20% of tasks or activities that contribute to 80% of your desired outcomes. These are the high-impact activities that deserve your primary focus. Step 2, assess task contributions. Analyze the impact of each task or activity on your overall goal. Which tasks contribute significantly to your desired results and which ones have a lesser impact. Step 3 is to allocate resources accordingly. So direct a disproportionate amount of your time and energy and resources towards those vital few 20% tasks, and that is going to yield the most significant results. This may involve reevaluating your task list and adjusting your priorities. And finally, minimize the trivial many. Acknowledge that not all tasks contribute equally to your goals. Identify and minimize tasks that fall into the trivial many category, recognizing that they may not significantly impact your overall objectives. So the way I like to think about this is when you have tasks that you're evaluating for the 80-20 rule, I like to think, will the task be something that matters in a day from now, in a week from now, in a month from now, in a year from now, in several years from now, right? Very many of our tasks are trivial, right? It doesn't really matter if we do that task or if we do something else. It's not going to matter in many cases a day from now, for sure, not a week or a month from now. Most of the tasks we do today, right, aren't really going to matter, right? So we want to figure out what the tasks are that are actually going to have impact in the long run. And those are the things we want to A, prioritize, and B, put most of our resources behind so that we can do those extremely well. Okay, so those were the 6 strategies, but before I go, I want to give you some things to keep in mind when it comes to using the strategies. First is that I recommend you learn when to use each of them in your life. You are not going to use all of these methods at once. Instead, each strategy can be used in different ways and in different circumstances. Some are good to use on your whole to-do list. Some are better for helping you organize and prioritize projects. Eat the frog is a strategy that you could layer on top of any of them so that you start your day with the hardest task on your list and remove mental resistance to taking any action. Second is you may find that you don't use all of these strategies. I know that I don't. I use 3 of them pretty consistently, and that creates my system of prioritization. Use the strategies that make sense to you and work for your life and the way that you think about prioritizing. Next, let the methods fit you. They won't always work perfectly, but use your best judgment to apply them in a way that makes sense to you. And finally, the point of prioritizing is to have a process that you can use to help you decide what is important so you take action on more of the important tasks. And as long as you're doing that, you can't mess up. If you complete a task and then realize it was the wrong one and another task was actually more important, go ahead and do that next most important task when you are done. As I've said many times in the past, if you are someone who always has more to do than time to complete it in, that means that there are always tasks that you are carrying over to the next day, and it's better for you to be carrying over lower priority tasks and getting more of the higher priority tasks accomplished. The problem is, without prioritization systems like these, we often choose the easier and lower priority tasks to do first. And that means we increase the likelihood that we are going to put off for tomorrow something that really should have been done today. So use these strategies to prevent that as much as possible and get more of the high priority tasks done as soon as you can each day. And then over time, that will mean you get better results, you have less fires to put out, and you will feel more in control of your to-do list. Now, if you would like more tips on how to get organized and learn to plan so you can lead a more balanced and productive life, you need to watch my How to Plan for a Balanced and Successful Life on-demand training. I will link it down below in the description box for you to sign up for free, and you can watch that training class next to make the most of your time and manage your tasks like a productivity pro. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you learned anything, please make sure to give the video a like and feel free to share it with anyone you think would find it interesting. For more of the behind the scenes of my productivity life and business, make sure you're following me on Instagram at MissTrenchcoat. I've been posting productivity tips every single day, so you won't want to miss those. And of course, if you are not yet subscribed to my channel, make sure to subscribe for more productivity videos by me. And until next time, bye-bye.